60 seconds, I'm good.
Welcome on into the Power Broadcasting Network. Palm Springs Power have another game tonight at home against the Inland Valley Legends. It's a beautiful night here for baseball. I'm Stephen Buxton, joined by EJ Sanchez. EJ, the Power, they're the only team to beat the Legends so far. They're 2-2. They beat the Inland Valley Bucks. They beat the Inland Valley Pirates, but the Power a couple weeks ago were just too much of a task for the Legends.
I mean, when you're talking about two games that ended up at 15-4 and 22-2, I'm sure everybody, possibly including the two of us, thought that the Legends were going to be the team in the CPCL that maybe you look forward to seeing. But then they quickly rectified that. They came in this last week. They took down the Inland Valley Pirates. They took down the Bucks, and they put to bed what happened last week. And if you joined us on our social media platforms for the Agua Caliente pregame show, Stephen, we talked this is a brand new roster almost. We're talking about 5 new guys into this lineup that weren't in the lineup the last time the Legends came here to Palm Springs to take on the Power. So I think in youth, I know we both have talked about this. This could be a lot different matchup than we saw with the 15-4 and the 22-2 ball games that we saw a week ago.
It should be a fairly different matchup, but one of the constants, the guy on the mound, Josh Martinez, rocking a 0 ERA already. He's got 6 innings under his belt, and last time around, he faced off against the same Legends.
He has the confidence against this team. He's seen a couple of these guys, and whether it's the same players or not, you see that jersey and you know that you've had success against them before, and that's going to be big for Josh. Not only those innings and those strikeouts that we mentioned earlier, but a .83 whip. He's not even averaging a base runner an inning. He's actually substantially less. So his thing has been, can he stay consistent in the strike zone after the second or third inning? I think that's going to be the key. You have a full bullpen today rather than a couple of games ago. So the Power are in a good position from a pitching standpoint, not only with our starting pitcher and Josh, but the rest of the stable is ready to go.
He's got one job, and he knows really. The Power have started to stretch out their players a little bit. We've seen starters start to go 4, 5, 6 innings instead of the traditional 3 that was the first couple games. And last time around, Bretton Thiels, he wasn't the starter, but he came in and finished it. 5 innings, 16 batters that he faced off against, 1 base runner.
Thiels was absolutely tremendous. When you're talking about a guy that comes in from the bullpen, he was a guy that Casey Dill was really excited to get here to Palm Springs. Of course, out of Louisiana Tech, they made a deep run into the NCAA tournament, and he shows up here and puts his name on the map immediately with the performance. Everything was working. You had the chance to talk to him. The fastball that was reaching the low 90s, hit 92, 93 a couple of times. He is a guy that Casey Dill's going to rely on. But, again, you have Holden Phelps ready to go today. Kyle Mosley's available if you need, the Pitt Panther. So they're in a good spot from the get-go today. And it's been a little bit of a different situation, but I know at least me, is looking forward to finding how this Power team can see another team twice and keep the same mentality.
Well, from Louisiana to Northridge, it's going to be a bit of a different look. Josh Martinez, he's not 7 feet tall. He's not going to be throwing 94. So it's going to be a changeup, but the job is still the same. Continue the 29-game win streak that the Power are on right now, dating back to last year. Go get win number 30, improve to 11-0 at home, or 11-0 on the season, 9-0 at home, and make it an even 5-0 in CPCL play.
This week the Power had a scare. The first one legitimately of the season when they went against the SoCal Bombers. They were able to squeak it out 5-4. But, even owner Andrew Starkey said it. This is a situation where the team isn't the exact same as it was last year. We're talking about a win streak of 29 games, but it's not the same players that won all 29 of those games. It's more of, the culture that's been built around here, and everybody in Inland Valley is aware of it, but the 7 returners have carried over what happened last season, a championship season, and they've really just brought it to another season where this team is is on a good roll, and it looks like they should continue as we head into the second week of CPCL play.
And you mentioned it, it's not the same team. But there's a handful of returners. I think the number is 7. And one of those returners, he's now returning. Dom Hughes, not in the lineup today, but I'm hearing he is available off the bench.
He actually was a scheduled starter when we first got the lineup from Casey Dill. He just got in yesterday, so I'm sure that he was trying to get a little more comfortable, but he is a guy that's comfortable in this stadium. The Kansas State Wildcat that has to, come back from a super regional series. I mean, that's only is going to help you for the rest of the season. Having a guy that just played a long season like that, the experience, the competition that he just got done facing. Can't wait to see Dom. Could be in a pinch hit role tonight, but absolutely will be starting in the foreseeable future.
And along with Dom Hughes, Richie Amavisca, Mark Kirkland, Noah Blythe, Kyle Mosley, they've all been massive contributors to the team. And, I mean, they could all contribute tonight. They're all in the lineup. And Kyle Mosley is available out of the bullpen tonight. So the lineups for tonight, Cody Kashimoto will be starting at shortstop for the Power. Austin Hollers hitting second at second base. Aiden Torek out in center field hitting third. Hitting fourth, Noah Blythe out in right field. Mark Kirkland is at first base. He'll be hitting fifth. Isaiah Mongi hitting sixth at third base. Eli Brown, again, that spot was originally Dom Hughes right there in left field, but simple switch, just put Eli Brown in left field anyways. He'll be hitting seventh. Alonzo Reyes behind the plate. He's hitting eighth. Aiden Perez rounds it out as the DH. And on the mound, Josh Martinez for the Power. For the Legends, it's going to be Gavin Grutzmacher. He's hitting first. He's their second baseman. Ben Lee at DH hitting second. Nathan Heline hitting third at shortstop. Danny Yanez hitting fourth at center field. Moon Yoom in right field. He'll be hitting fifth. Reed Woodland at hitting sixth. Doug Allen at third base hitting seventh. Ethan Bijani at first base hitting eighth. And Anthony Canavino in left field rounded it out hitting ninth. And on the mound for the Legends, it will be Jonathan Maldonado. Maldonado was at third base last time around.
Exactly, and Doug Allen was the starting pitcher last time. Steven, this is a completely different game, a completely different lineup and makeup than the last time these Palm Springs Power players faced the Legends. We're looking forward to it, and we're going to have an opportunity to send it out to the anthem. But when we do return from it and we turn it over to our PA announcer, Jay Cicinelli, we can talk to you about why Jonathan Maldonado could be a big factor today as we go against the Legends.
Again, game number 11 of the year for the Power, hoping to move on to 11-0 against the Legends. First pitch coming up right after the anthem. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Power Broadcasting Network. Again, Stephen Buxton joined by EJ Sanchez just moments away from the first pitch. Josh Martinez warming up on the mound to face off against the Legends. Again, top three of the lineup, Gavin Grutzmacher, Ben Lee, Nathan Heline. They'll be leading it off against the Power. And EJ, so far so good for Josh Martinez last time out. 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. None earned, still holding that 0 ERA.
Josh is at his best whenever he's able to command multiple pitches in the zone at the same time. And that's why he has had the strikeout numbers that he has. You look at it, it's only 8, but he's only averaging two and a third innings as he's progressed through this season. So if he's able to land his curveball early and then come back with that fastball that may not blow a ton of people away, but it's competitive in the zone, then he's going to have another good outing today. And that's really what KC Dill needs. Finally, he has a situation where his bullpen is healthy and he can just have his starter pitch his game and not have to worry about the long game and how he has to handle his pitching staff for the rest of the night.
And you mentioned that bullpen. They've been a lot of guys in and out because they've had to be used for more than what they've expected due to a couple of injuries, and a couple of guys have gone into games basically being told, hey, take us as long as you can. We're going to figure it out after that.
And this is summer ball. These guys don't mind doing that. I mean, Connor Batzer, we talked to him before his start, and he said he was hoping to give 4, and he came out and gave 7 beautiful innings when he got that chance. So it's really all about what the day asks, and today the Power are going to ask Josh Martinez to turn in his 3rd good start and get the Power on their way to their 11th win of the season.
They've been grinding it out lately, and, I mean, the grind starts here now for Josh Martinez as Gavin Grutzmacher, the second baseman, steps into the box. Martinez gets the sign, kicks and deals, and we're off with the first pitch strike. 87 on the outside corner of the zone gets the call. Martinez fires it again, fouled off the back of the net.
You already see he doubles up on 2 fastballs, and he's trying to get ahead. And if you're able to get ahead with a fastball early, it's going to open up a lot more off-speed pitches, not only now, but as the game progresses.
Trying to establish that fastball early. And good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 pitches, first strikeout of the game. For Josh Martinez, Gavin Grutzmacher heads back to the dugout and leads the way for Ben Lee, the designated hitter.
And there's no deception that we were talking about. I'm trying to think about setting up pitches, and instead, Josh Martinez just goes out there and throws 3 fastballs and dares somebody to put a barrel on a ball, and he looks like a good plan so far.
First pitch from Martinez misses the zone. And, I mean, coming off of an outing where you don't see guys lean on their fastball as much as we saw Thiels lean on it a couple days ago. I mean, I think he threw maybe 7, 8 breaking balls, and he even told me himself, I mean, he thought he didn't throw more than maybe 10. 2-0 pitch from Martinez. Off the end of the bat, down the right field line. That's going to go foul.
You know, I don't want to be the one to just start rattling off cliches. We got a long 9 innings to go, Steven, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're a guy like Brenton Thiels and you're getting that much reach already with that 7-foot frame and you can hit the 92s and the 93s, there's no reason, especially if nobody has proven the ability to catch up.
Josh Martinez early on getting that reach here. 2-1 pitch fouled back into the parking lot. For a guy who's not the biggest guy, just 6 feet tall, but that extension, it's at 6'8" right now.
It makes it that much harder. It's already hard enough to hit 92, 93, but now you're cutting off the distance that you can see the pitch.
Martinez 2-2 pitch. And he didn't go around. It's going to be a full count here against Ben Lee. Martinez fires, and that one's driven into center field, going back on its Torek. And he'll take that one for the second out of the inning.
And the ball hit pretty hard, 95 miles an hour off the bat. And this is where Josh is, again, going to need to stay in the zone and force people's barrels to move. It's hard enough to get hits in baseball, but when you have a guy like Aiden Torek out there who's able to just range back and make a play, your day is going to be a whole lot easier. This has been a nice start here for Josh.
Martinez fires in a first pitch ball to Nathan Heline. 1-0 pitch from Martinez. Catch at the corner, fastball, strike one.
And Helene's another example, Stephen, of these guys that you're saying, these are quality players. I mean, last season batting .301 at Citrus College, he's a guy that has proven the ability to hit at the next level.
Helene watches ball two go right by him. And, yeah, it's a lot of guys who they're either committing or getting looks at D1 colleges, or they're D1 bounce backs, or just really good numbers at some of these junior colleges, as Helene sends one right over to Noah Blythe in right field. He'll bring that one in, third out of the inning, and we'll go to break. Top of the power lineup due up for the bottom of the first. We'll be right back.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures, from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99 at Palm Springs' most popular restaurant.
Bottom of the first here in Palm Springs against Stephen Buxton, joined by E.J. Sanchez here, as the Power put up a 0 in the first frame of the game, and Cody Kashimoto, switch hitting shortstop out of St. Mary's, will lead things off. Kashimoto facing off against Jonathan Maldonado, who, again, he was playing third base the last time around against the Power. Kashimoto hoping to start things hot for the Power, as he watches a 1-0 ball.
And Maldonado, in his last season at Citrus College, all appearances out of the bullpen, did have a 3 ERA, just a 1-2 whip as it was taken outside. And Steven, so again, another example of guys that have put up good numbers at the collegiate level. But I'm interested to see how this will affect how much length he's able to give. If he had 12 innings pitched and only 8 appearances, he's not stretched out too much.
They're hoping for some length out of him here, as he fires a third ball down and in on Kashimoto. Kashimoto coming off, he didn't play last time around on Wednesday, but coming off a 3-strikeout performance. And that's better right there. Starts it off with a 4-pitch walk.
And Steven, though Cody didn't have the game that he would like his last time out, I'm sure that these legends are not excited to see him come up. His best game as a member of the Power was a 4-for-4, 2 RBI performance just last week there on the 8th. So he's another guy that has seen this jersey and knows he can still have success.
And it's not like Kashimoto's night had no value to it, as Austin Haller steps in for the second batter of the night. Kashimoto's going to run, throw down to second, not in time. Kashimoto steals second on the first pitch of that bat. That's going to be a strike to Austin Haller, but he's got a runner in scoring position.
There's nothing that poor Reed Woodland could do behind the plate for the Legends. He had a good transfer and a good release. It was just apparently either Cody or Casey Dill knew before the game that a first pitch steal opportunity was going to be there, and they execute.
Maldonado looking at Kashimoto, fires in for a ball. 1-1 count, But again, back on Kashimoto, that night on Tuesday, it didn't have no value to it. Again, he had that amazing diving play to rob the victory of a hit, and I mean, overall, it was a solid night, but just the 3 strikeouts right there as Haller into the gap. And that's going to be a long throw, not in time. That's an infield single.
I mean, would it really be a power game if Austin Haller wasn't going to have another hit? I mean, his 19th hit of the season, he leads the team, and this isn't a situation where he absolutely barreled a ball. No, he put a ball in play and then put that speed to work, and that's only going to add to that 450 average that he has through his first 10 games here in Palm Springs.
I mean, 87 off the bat. It wasn't like he killed it, as he's getting checked on right there by Maldonado. Didn't kill it, but there's a big gap up the middle. They're basically playing the power straight up right now, and Gutzmacher couldn't really do anything. Had to run a long way and make a longer throw against Haller, who was just busting it out of the box.
And not only that, but, Steven, this infield does play extremely fast. That's why you see these power players, they're trying to come get that first hop because you don't want to take chances with that second hop as Gutzmacher did, and it takes off on that second hop and makes it a lot harder.
First pitch to Aiden Torek, and he'll foul it off into the parking lot. Torek, again, when he comes up, I mean, we've mentioned it throughout the broadcasts, basically no one in the ballpark is safe.
Absolutely not, especially if you're behind the fences. He leads the team in home runs.
And if this was an MLB game, Austin Haller would be getting second base right there as Maldonado checks in on him again. Haller on first, Kashimoto on third. Haller's going to go. Throw down by Woodland, not even close. Haller takes second on the second stolen base of the game for the Power.
You do feel for Woodland. It's almost like he has a target on his arm, but both Kashimoto and Haller just have gotten really good jumps, and you're not seeing a ton of mix-up in looks from Jonathan Maldonado.
2 runners in scoring position for Torek, who drives that one out to right field. Going back on his Hume. Hume's going to run out of room. That bounces off the bottom of the wall. Haller's running, or Torek's running around for third. Haller and Kashimoto score. Torek in third safe, and that's going to be an RBI triple, 2-0 Power.
Well, not only does he have 6 straight games with a hit, Steven, that's his 4th straight game with an extra base hit. He finds a fastball at 84. He sends it out at 91 miles an hour. And you saw Hume. He understood that he had no shot at that baseball. He had to turn and run, and he still didn't have the room to go make a play. That's just a good swing, and that shows you a lot about what Aiden Torek's approach is right now at the plate.
Noah Blythe stepping into the box. He'll foul that one off the end of the bat, back to the net. And how much is it that you've already seen this team play before? You know how aggressive they play. And you know that they're just going to take the slightest bit you give them and just extend it for so much more. As Blythe drives that one into right field, Hume will camp under it and take it. Throw is cut off by Bijani. And that's a sac fly for Noah Blythe. Aiden Torek comes home.
To get back to that last point, Steven, you have to play a near-perfect game when you come here to Palm Springs. That's just the reality of the situation. It's not any homerism or anything that's going on with us up here. You've seen it. They've taken advantage of mistakes that have happened, and that doesn't have to be fielding errors or anything like that. It can just be mistakes over the heart of the plate. When you go through the middle of this lineup, you're going to see why you can't make those mistakes any sort of consistently.
Mark Kirkland watches Maldonado bounce the first pitch breaker. 1-0 count. Maldonado finally has an out, but again, not before the Power score 3 runs. Kirkland fouls that one back into the net. And there's so much to it that, again, the Power, they're aggressive on the bases. They're aggressive really everywhere in general, even just the way they pitch.
And it really comes down to a mentality thing, and that's really what Casey Dill wants to exaggerate when you're talking about a team that comes and plays as well as they do play. It's all about how you're going about your business, and they go about their business in aggressive is a good word to use, but almost another good word to use is intentional. There's no wasted movement or thought process. They just want to get outs, find pitches to hit, and that's really what's going to be the theme of the summer.
3-1 pitch to Kirkland. Drives that one into the ground, over to first base, and it'll be a full count. Kirkland again leading the team in a couple offensive categories. Most notably, he's up there in on-base percentage, basically leads all the full-time players who haven't missed time. Leads the team in walks. And he's got a 3-2 count here with one out.
Getting the chance to talk to Mark. He didn't play in the most recent game on Tuesday, and it really just gave him a good opportunity to rest his body, and he started the first 9 games.
Kirkland drives that one. That's over to Guzmacher, and he'll make the throw down to first, 2 outs.
It's underrated how much one day off can affect you as a baseball player. And I know Mark just grounded out, but if you're trying to get through an entire summer, stay healthy, then those off days are really good. That's why you didn't see Mark Kirkland and Noah Blythe, for that matter, play in the most recent game. Casey Dill wants to keep these guys fresh because he's going to need them when you get into the dog days of the middle of July.
2 outs, nobody on, and here comes Isaiah Monge. Watches a first pitch ball. And again, you want to bring out your best lineup. You want to give your team the best chance to win, but you do, again, these guys are all human. You've got to manage the load a little bit.
Absolutely, and you talk to these guys, they want to play every day. They wouldn't be playing summer ball if they didn't want to play baseball every day. But there is a balance that needs to happen, especially when you're playing, in the middle of Palm Springs. You need that rest to be at your best for an entire season.
1-1 pitch, Monge watches it low for ball 2. And again, it's almost a lot of the culture that Casey Dill has created, a lot of the way he manages the team. It's a very casual but honest way of managing it. He's honest with all his players, and it's really just he lets them go and do what they can when they need to. Every player I've talked to, they say he's not all on top of them, not nagging him, as Monge drives that one out into center field. Camping under it is Yanez. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Power go down, but not quietly. 3 runs on the board. They're up 3-0. We'll go to break before the top of the 2nd.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at PS.
Welcome back. Top of the 2nd here in Palm Springs. Danny Yanez, the beer batter of the game for tonight. All the fans here excited, hoping for a strikeout. He'll lead things off for the Legends. Josh Martinez, first pitch in there for a strike. Again, for those of you joining in, Power held the Legends to a 1-2-3 inning in the first, then went out there. Cody Kashimoto walked. Austin Holler with a single. Aiden Torek with a 2 RBI triple. After a sac fly by Noah Blythe, they're up 3-0.
As Martinez gets ahead here 1-2, Steven, you asked me during our break, what is it about Josh that makes him so deceptive? And, you know, any sort of lefty, it's hard, especially if you are another lefty. But what he does so well is he mixes up pitches in the zone. He has the curveball that he really likes to go to. But demonstrating the changeup against righties really is the separator.
1-2 pitch by Martinez. Driven out to Kashimoto. Tries to make a leaping catch just over his glove. Gets that into left field for Eli Brown to pick up. And the first hit of the game for the Legends.
And unfortunately, Josh is going to have a conversation with me after the game because he throws a changeup that slows up the speed just a little bit, and it's enough for Yanez to put a good swing on a ball and line it into left, getting his barrel out a lot quicker than the first three batters in Grutzmacher, Lee, and Helene. So a start here as now you're seeing Hume take his first steps.
Moon Hume up, again playing right field for the Legends today. Takes a first pitch ball. And again, Hume, it's a basically all-new Legends team today. Again, there's 6 new players. He's one of the few that was in the lineup last time around. Takes the 1-0 pitch. Swings right through that for a strike one.
Hume joining us from Seoul, South Korea, and another one of these good stories that you see. Batted .271 in his last season at Saddleback College.
Had a couple hits and gets robbed of one there by Josh Martinez, who throws it down to short. Down to Mark Kirkland, waiting for the call, and he gets it. Double play turned by the Power.
This is such an underrated play here by Martinez. You get the ball, awesome. You did your job. But the issue here is that Kashimoto's just a tad bit late getting to the bag, and pitchers are taught that as soon as you get the ball, just throw it over the bag. But if Josh does that in that situation, that ball ends up in center field. So he stays calm, delivers a good throw. Cody's able to finish it off, and a nice stretch by Kirkland there on the back end. Everybody had to do something just a little out of the ordinary, and it all comes together for a good double play here for Josh.
One of the better double plays we've seen all year out of the Power. The first pitch to Reed Woodland. Down and away for a ball. Martinez 1-0 pitch to Woodland. Catches the bottom of the zone, strike one. And speaking of pitches on the bottom of the zone, the one that Woodland had to throw on against Kashimoto last inning, I mean, it was down, it was outside, it was about as bad of a pitch you could throw on as possible. You played the game. How hard is it to throw on that?
That factor right there, Steven, is why when you look at caught stealing percentages, it's so misleading because sometimes you have to deal with things like that. You have to go all the way across your body, and that's why you start to sympathize with Woodland just a little bit as he fouls this one back to the screen because he's doing everything he possibly can, and it doesn't help that both Holler and Kashimoto got extremely good jumps. If he's going to have a chance to throw out some runners, he's going to need a little help from Maldonado, switching up his looks, giving his catcher a chance to make a play.
1-2 pitch from Martinez. In the dirt, ball 2. And again, you've got that added pressure that a lot of teams have come into the stadium with. You're trying to knock the Power off. They're looking for 30-0. As that 2-2 pitch, it goes right by him, blows the fastball by him. Second strikeout of the day for Josh Martinez. 1-2-3 inning for the Power. And we got the bottom of the lineup due up. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching. Rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, the cow could.
Bottom of the second here in Palm Springs. Welcome back. Bottom of the lineup due up for the Power. And for Eli Brown, coming off of one of the better games of all time that you'll see a player put up and not get player of the game for.
We might have something to do with that, and we'll talk about it right after this pitch that goes outside. Yeah, Steven, you just talked about it. Eli Brown, 4 for 5, had a double, a home run, 5 RBIs. He was absolutely tremendous, and he had that big 3-run home run early. And coming off an injury, it's so much harder.
1-0 pitch. Brown watches that, but it catches the corner.
Depending on the guy, live pitching and how long you go without it can really have an effect on you. It clearly had no effect on Eli, and I know that Casey's just happy to have him back in the lineup.
The Mercer pit and the product watches the 1-1 pitch go low. It's again, it's always impressive when a guy loses some time. It wasn't a ton, but about a week and a half was out of the lineup. Didn't get to play until this week. Goes 0 in his first start, gets pushed all the way up to the top of the lineup. And first at bat, 3-run home run, probably the hardest hit ball we've seen all year.
Oh, absolutely. And Eli not only brings so much with his bat, we've just talked about it, but he's also played all 3 outfield positions. So having that versatility not in your lineup is going to be tough as he's going to draw a walk.
Brown watches ball 4, and he'll go down to first for Alonzo Reyes.
We're starting to see that across all levels, Steven, about finding guys that can be versatile, because you think about outfielders, if you can play one, you can play them on. That's not true at all. You have to have a special type of athlete to be able to control every part of the outfield, and that's why Brown is so valuable.
Reyes off to a hot start already, 568 or 553 on base percentage, 462 average. Just 4 games so far, but he's brought the bat, brought the glove. Eli Brown gets checked on down at first. He's back there in time. And it's been, again, a late start. He was one of the late ads, but it's been just smooth sailing for the UCI bound catcher.
And we're going to have a chance to talk to him more throughout the season, but Alonso, we talked about it a little bit in the other broadcast, had to take a year off, spent a year at Long Beach State, didn't get the opportunity he liked, and then tore it up at Cerritos College. And you see why UC Irvine wanted an opportunity to bring him into the program. And not only offensively, he's had 3 or 4 games with a hit, but he's also earned a very good reputation for working with his pitchers. And you know better than I, just as much as I do, that's one underrated piece of the game for a catcher.
2-1 pitch. Last one, a ball outside. Another couple checks down to Eli Brown, and Maldonado kicks and deals. And Reyes just couldn't hold up there.
It looked like a little bit of a cutter that got in on the hands of Lonzo. And what makes that pitch so difficult, Steven, is that you're trying to think about dropping your barrel and going. But when it rides just a little bit more in on you, you're not able to get that hand extended and get the barrel out like you'd want it to.
Maldonado trying to get one past his barrel right now. 2-2 pitch. Reyes watches it go outside. And that's a really fine line you're playing right there with cutters up. It might cut right into the barrel, right into the sweet spot, and instead of foul balls, instead of ground balls, I mean, Reyes has shown some pop here already. 3-2 pitch inside, and that's another walk.
And that's a really good point, actually, because that cutter, Reed Woodland has to know his pitcher in this situation, the catcher right now for Inland Valley. He needs to know that his guy Maldonado can place it wherever he wants, because if he doesn't, you have guys in the middle of this lineup, and really a 1 through 9, that are able to do some damage, and we saw Aiden Torek already do it with a fastball that was left over the heart of the plate.
Aiden Perez coming in, DH tonight. Hoping to get his 5th hit of the year. With 2 on, Eli Brown on second, Reyes on first, and Perez fouls that one back into the parking lot. Perez, he was one of the handful of guys the other day who we saw making outstanding catches. The game against the Bombers, just defense all over the place. He played left field that one today. He's the DH. Provides a lot of value to this lineup. 0-1 pitch from Maldonado, down in the dirt.
And Aiden would be the first one to tell you, 250, not bad at all. And we know that most likely will go up from here. That's just the reputation that he's built for himself over at Southwestern. But he has played a very good defensive left field. And talking to Brenton Thiel's post-game, he said that was a couple of good plays that Aiden was able to make.
1-1 pitch high. And, yeah, we haven't seen a ton of it. Again, the power defense has been good. Nothing ridiculous. Nothing has stood out so far except for that game against the Bombers. I mean, a couple great double plays. Kashimoto and Perez back-to-back in the same inning, laying out to rob the Bombers of probably 2 extra base hits. 2-1 pitch here. Outside, but gets the call on the corner.
If you remember the first 10 days of the season, Steven, all Casey Dill wanted to talk about was, I'm just really happy with our defense. And then you had a 4 or 5 game, 2-3 game stretch where it really wasn't exactly crisp. And now they're starting to get back to it all throughout the field.
2-2 pitch. And that one's lined out into right field. High fly ball going back on it is Hume, and that gets off the bottom of the wall. Hume couldn't get a read off of it. Everyone's going to move ahead 90 feet.
Doesn't everybody love a 347-foot single? I mean, Hume has to do whatever he can to try to stay on this path, but you think, it's just a pop-up. With the way that Perez swings, with that way that he swings the bat, he creates a lot of backspin. That's why you saw Hume take a couple of steps in and didn't get a great read on it. But Perez starting to build upon some of these really good at-bats that he's been taking in his first 10 days as a member of the Power.
Some of it, too, it's the part of the night where sun's still up. It's going down a little bit. The sky isn't as blue. It's kind of tricky to see that ball, but, I mean, you'd rather take that 347-foot single than what we've seen a lot so far this season. I mean, we've seen a couple 390-foot outs. I mean, Mark Kirkland the other day hit a ball to the wall, and that was an out. So, I mean, take him how you can get him at this point.
When you're batting 9th in the lineup, and again, it's no slight to anybody. You're going to take whatever hit they're going to give you. And like we said, Aiden just looking to build upon that and turn in another impressive summer before he heads up to Cal State Northridge.
I mean, there's batting 9th in the lineup, and then there's batting 9th in the lineup that's averaging over 10 runs a game. As Kashimoto watches a first pitch ball outside. Kashimoto, bases loaded. Had a walk in the first inning, came around to score. Kashimoto drives that one to first base, throw down to second, back to first. In time to get the double play. A run scores. Eli Brown comes in, but that clears the Legends of 2 runners right there.
This is an outstanding play by Bajani at first base because he's playing for the double play, but he has to double clutch this ball. He doesn't get a good handle on it first, and he still has the trust in himself to deliver a good throw in. And Heelan, on the other side of it, delivers an absolute dart to Maldonado, who has to come over and cover, which also isn't another difficult play. So Inland Valley trying to keep themselves in, and that's a good way to do so as Haller steps in.
Hard ground ball to first results in the 4th run of the game as Haller drives that one into right field. That might roll to the wall. Hume cuts it off, stumbles a bit, but Haller's going to walk into second with the stand-up double.
What hasn't Austin Haller done this summer? He takes a fastball again. He's gotten 2, and he puts a lot better swing on this one. 98 miles an hour off the bat. Pulls his hands in, and if you watch Austin, there was never a doubt that he was going to try to stretch that into an extra base hit. You see a lot of guys in the summer start coasting, be okay with the hit. There really is no off switch for Austin Haller, and that's why he's had the summer that he's had so far.
Haller on second. That scores another run. Scores Alonzo Reyes from third. And in comes Aiden Torek. 5-0 Power. Torek takes one, almost brushes him on the elbow.
To get back to that, that's such a backbreaker for Maldonado. You think he's going to have a chance to minimize an inning. He gets a double play with the bases loaded. You think you're going to escape, and then you just give up a hard-hit ball in the corner like that.
1-0 pitch to Torek. Just got on top of it, grounds that all the way into the bullpen. Josh Martinez looks like he's warming up over there. Almost had to get some PFPs in.
Oh, what a luxury that is that, oh, no, you have to go warm up. Why? You're getting a 5-run cushion to work with for the rest of your start.
Yeah, there's worse ways to do it. 1-1 pitch from Maldonado. Outside to Torek. He's going to take that for the second ball. 2-1 count, 2 outs, 5-0 lead here in Palm Springs. Again, Austin Haller with hit number 20 on the season out at second base. Maldonado fires. Torek swings right through a fastball on the outside edge.
It comes in at 80 miles an hour, and you see Aiden trying to time it up right now, and what he's doing is that's a pretty close to an off-speed pitch to what he's used to seeing, so he has to take almost an off-speed pitch swing at it, and that's why he comes up a little empty.
Torek, 2-2 pitch, and that one's bounced. But good job by Woodland back there to keep it in front of him. Haller was ready to go, but had nowhere to go.
It's a really tough block because, again, this isn't a short hop that just hits your mitt and you're able to sit on it. No, he understands that he has to almost rise above and just throw his chest in front of it. And not only does he block it, he keeps it within distance.
Full count to Torek. 2 outs. Haller's going to run. Throw down to third, not in time. Torek's going to take a walk. Haller's going to take another base. Second stolen base of the game by Austin Haller. And for Aiden Torek, he's got a triple in the first, walk in the second, and leaves it up to Noah Blythe with 2 outs.
And, Steven, I understand that. I've built a reputation for myself as being a catcher supporter, to put it lightly.
We like catchers.
But Woodland never has had a chance on any of these 3. Maldonado got 4 straight pitches where he came set and went 1/1000 and then delivered. And if you're a guy like Austin Haller, it's going to be so easy to take advantage of.
Blythe fouls that one down the right field line. That's going to go out of play. And it's not just that, but, I mean, again, the pitch right there, it was outside, it was up. So he had to go for that and then slide around a right-handed hitter. I mean, it's almost impossible to get a speedy Austin Haller, who had a good jump. Throw down to first, goes all the way to the bullpen. Haller's going to score. It's 6-0 Power. Torek goes nowhere because of a pretty lucky kick back off the fence.
And I think Aiden was just trying to stay on the bag, and just in case it was caught. And it's a situation where Austin never hesitated to go, and now you're starting to see a little bit of unraveling here early if you're the Legends.
0-1 pitch to Noah Blythe. And Blythe fouls that one off the back of the net. Is there ever a point where you just tell the pitcher, hey, let's focus on the guy in front of me? I mean, he's been throwing down to first more than anyone I've seen so far this season.
Well, that's his attempt at checking on a runner, but if you have high-level base runners, you need to change your timings as well.
0-2 pitch to Blythe. Driven out into left field, going back on a Canavino. And he'll haul that one in. It's a third out of the inning, but the Power put another 3 on the board. Going to the top of the third, we'll be right back.
2 locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank.
Welcome back. 6-0 ball game here in Palm Springs. Power on top of the Legends. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Legends. Doug Allen, the third baseman, coming up to face against Josh Martinez, who's been pretty darn good so far. Martinez fires in a first pitch fastball, just low. And for pretty good so far, he's just allowed 1 hit and a fantastic double play he turned last inning. Mitigated that and kept him to facing the minimum. 2-0 pitch just off of Reyes' glove. Manages to keep it with him, though.
An unconventional 1-2-3, and these double plays are just going to not only speed the game up for everybody in the stadium, but it's going to allow Josh to, get back to the dugout and get some more rest, because he's at his best whenever he has just a couple of minutes to regroup in between. But he's a starter. He's built for the long haul. And it's interesting to see how his pitch count is going to be managed tonight, see how many innings he can give the power.
Again, innings have been a focus of concern for the Power lately. They've been down pitchers. They've due to a couple injuries, and really just after those injuries, a lot of the guys who were expected to either start or provide length in the next games after, they've been getting used, getting worn out. But for the most part now, it's a healthy bullpen. It's a rested bullpen. They had the day off yesterday. And again, it's in all likelihood Josh Martinez, if he could keep his rate up, that he'll probably get through 5 innings. And he gets that one off the end of the bat. Good catch by Austin Haller right there. Sends Doug Allen down.
There rarely is such a thing as an ace when you're talking about summer baseball with all of the unpredictables that can happen. But when you talk about an ace, you talk about a guy that you know you're going to get quality out of. And that's what Josh is starting to turn into as a member of this staff as the count goes 1-0. He's a guy that you know he's not going to be on a bullpen day. He's going to be a guy that you count on to give you quality innings and keep your team in it while your offense can start to get some runs.
Martinez to Bijani, who sends that one over to Sue in the concession stand. Hopefully that doesn't get into someone's burger. But, again, it wasn't a great year at Northridge, but he was a true freshman. He was 18 years old. He's going to be able to settle in. He's going to adjust, and he's going to give up the second hit of the game right there to Bijani, who sends that one into right field. Blythe will throw it back in, and Martinez will get ready to face off against Anthony Canavino. I'm sorry.
At Aquesta College, another member of this Legends team that will be entering the transfer portal to find their home for the next season.
Canavino up, Bijani on first, and Martinez with a first pitch strike. Hoping for much of the same last inning, some more solid defense, hoping he could maybe get 2 right here. Again, Power up 6-0 after a pair of 3-run innings. And that one's fired in for strike 2.
And Martinez really he only has 2 strikeouts, and he's ahead here, but he's really forced his defense to make the plays, and they've been very solid behind him.
0-2 pitch. And that catches the corner. 3rd strikeout of the day for Josh Martinez.
Maybe I should just stop talking, Steven, because every single time I talk about what Josh hasn't done, he comes back and he does something different. And right there, he just goes back to the fastball, one of the fastest he's reached all night. He reaches back for 87. He delivers a beautiful pitch on the outer half.
Well, maybe next inning start talking that he hasn't struck out the cycle, hasn't hit a home run yet,
We can get creative.
We can get creative. First pitch to the leadoff batter, Gavin Grutzmacher. Grutzmacher struck out in the first victim for Martinez. Ahead 1-0 right now. Watches that one low, gets past Reyes. And Ethan Bajani's going to take second base on a pass ball.
Yeah, that's one of those where if you talk to Lonzo after the game, he's going to say that he should have come up with it. It's one of those balls in the dirt if you're a catcher that you don't know if you have to play for the pick or you play for the block, and you kind of just get caught in this middle territory where you really don't prepare for either, and it's able to sneak through the 5-hole. So it's an unfortunate break there for Reyes, who's been very solid defensively this season.
It almost looked like he got a little crossed up right there. As that one sent out high into center field. Aiden Torik's going to settle under that. And that's the third out of the inning. No runs for the Legends so far. And the Power, they'll have Mark Kirkland, Isaiah Mongi, and Eli Brown due up. We'll be right back for the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third here in Palm Springs. Stephen Buxton joined by EJ Sanchez. Mark Kirkland, Isaiah Mongi, and Eli Brown due up for the Power against a new pitcher. Jake Entrup in for the Legends. Cal State San Bernardino Wolf product.
Or more future. He just spent this last season as an Owl, as a member of Citrus College. You're starting to see a couple of those guys around here. Citrus College, whether it be Irvine Valley College, if you're Gavin Grutzmacher. You know, this team really hitting the JUCO circuit.
And you'll see that for a lot of teams that come through here. A lot of very similar schools as Mark Kirkland takes a first pitch strike. A lot of these teams, they're either from the same area in general, so same handful of schools, or like the other day, almost entirely the same school as Kirkland swings through a fastball. Strike two.
A little bit of change in speed. That one came in at 87. 1-0 with a 2.07 whip and a 7.7 ERA, but has the strikeout numbers for Entrup were outstanding in this last year.
Entrup gets Kirkland to go off the end of the bat, fly that one out to left field, and Canavino's going to catch that for the first out of the inning. Quick first out for Entrup after he takes over from what at a point looked like it could have had potential as a solid start, but for Maldonado just fell apart super fast. 2 innings, 4 hits, and EJ, it just all went down from there.
The Power are going to get their hits, Steve. You're not going to come in here to Palm Springs and go 7 innings, no runs, 1 hit. It just hasn't happened.
Isaiah Mongi steps in and flies the first pitch well past the foul line into the parking lot.
But what you can't do in these situations is walk guys. And Maldonado comes in, his day finishes with 4 walks, and that's where the Power really take advantage. The big blows was 1 single from Austin Holler and 1 big hit from Aiden Torek. Other than that, your team is in a game in the 3rd inning.
It's been the story of the season so far for the Power. Not just the dominating wins, but the way they've done it. It's the 4 walks right there. It's the error off of Maldonado himself that caused another unearned run. When you give this team an inch, it's like a dam. You make 1 crack, and they burst it wide open, and it happens so fast. 1-1 pitch here to Manji, and that's up high for a ball.
We saw it in the second to most recent game against the SoCal Bombers, where the Bombers led for that entire game until it comes down to the 8th inning, and 1 error is all it took for the Power to come back. So you really have to be on your game.
Manji gets under that one, way up in there, and that's going to fall in the stands down the first baseline.
You have to play a near-perfect game. It's just the reality of it, Steven. And no team has come in here and played a perfect game. And when the Power take advantage of mistakes, that's what good teams do. And that's why they're sitting with a 10-0 record and having an opportunity to go for 30 tonight.
Not a single team has done it against the Power, again, in their last 29 games since last June. And Manji gets under that a little bit, flies it out to right field, and Hume's going to catch that for a quick second out. And, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's this Legends team that's the last one to beat them.
They were. Back on June 17th of last year, a 9-8 ball game. It was that day that the Power last lost. And since then, they've just rattled off win after win, including the championship in late July last season. Casey Dill talked to the media team at the end of last season after a 1-loss season. He said, "How do you top this?" As the ball's taken low, he said, with a wink, go undefeated. And it sounds great for banter. You can stew on that for an entire offseason. But then you get here this summer, and he was absolutely serious about it.
And, I mean, as serious as he is, everything's gone according to plan so far. As Eli Brown takes a second ball way high. 2-0 count, but, again, everything's gone right. With some injuries, with some guys not really playing up to par, whether it's just, trying to get into the swing of things after a lot of time off. 2-0 pitch inside for ball 3. It's been an adjustment for some guys, but the rest of the team has been able to pick up the slack, been able to tread the water, and it's led to a 10-0 start so far. 3-0 pitch. Brown watches that one for the first strike.
Entrup with a little bit of a different arsenal, throws that curveball and a fastball that we just mentioned is running up into the high 80s. So Power haven't adjusted, at least through 2 batters, as well as you thought they would.
Entrup deals to Brown. And that one doesn't catch the corner, and that's another walk.
And that's actually a really good call there by Brad Claude. According to our TrackMan up here, about maybe 3 inches off the plate. It's not a ton, but it is a ball, so that's a great call back there by Brad Claude.
It's been really all season that kind of, you get about a ball off the zone here and there, and that's really been where the zone's been. It's one of those give or take pitches right there, and a solid take by Brown right there. And he'll take first base and let Alonzo Reyes try and do the rest. With 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, again, Power up 6-0, 4 hits, no errors for the Power. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error on the Legends. 1-0 pitch from Entrup. Gets off of Reyes' hands. He's going to hustle down to first, but can't beat the throw. And Power go down quietly for the first time today. We'll be back for the 4th inning. Top of the Legends lineup due up. We'll be right back.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
We welcome you back here to Palm Springs Stadium. EJ Sanchez taking over for a couple of innings alongside Stephen Buxton. Power lead at 6-0 as Josh Martinez begins his 4th inning of work as he faces Ben Lee. Comes out of the stretch, delivers the first pitch of the 4th, and it's outside at 71. So 1-0 here to lead the Cal Poly Pomona product. Another one of these players that's hitting the transfer portal for his junior year. He awaits the 1-0. And that one goes low now, so he's ahead in the count here, 2-0.
Lee already flew out to center field, just got a hold of the pitch, got under it, and Aiden Torek took that and ran with it as Josh Martinez has been almost perfect today.
And he gets a strike there. He swings through it at 85 on the outer half, brings the count to 2-1. No runs on 2 hits in 3 innings for the Legends. Lee waits the 2-1. Off the end of his bat, goes back to the screen, foul ball, 2-2.
Martinez so far today, again, it's just through 3 innings so far, but he's only allowed 2 base runners. One of them was negated by the double play, and I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. He's sitting high 80s with that fastball. The curveball's been excellent so far today. Picked up a couple of Ks so far. He's got 3 of them, and again, he's made his defense work, but it's paid off.
Been outstanding defense played behind Josh Martinez. He kicks and fires the 2-2 in the dirt, well blocked by Reyes. Went back to the off-speed pitch at 79, so the count will go full.
And Reyes, he had that pass ball last inning, but, I mean, we know he's basically good for some premium defense for the rest of the game.
Payoff pitch to Lee. In the dirt, blocked again, and it's going to be a leadoff walk here for Ben Lee, and the first leadoff base runner of the game for the Legends. So it'll bring up Nathan Helene, the Laverne, California kid coming off a season where he batted .301 at Citrus College.
Helene, again, out of Citrus College. He's familiar with a lot of this lineup, and, again, it's an experienced lineup. They're ready for the task, but Josh Martinez has been even better.
This one's softly lined to Holler, fires back to first in Kirkland, and it's not in time. A good read by Lee, but Helene is retired on the line drive out. It'll bring up Danny Yanez with 1 out here in the top of the 4th, and the Power leading 6-0.
Again, it's more the great defense right there. I mean, that ball literally just wasn't hit hard enough for it to be a double play. I mean, Holler did everything right there.
And he goes a little bit with a slider that cuts across the plate. A little too inside against Danny Yanez.
I mean, it was a quick line drive right there. If it was literally hit maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour harder, I mean, that throw down to Kirkland at first, it probably gets Lee.
The count goes 2-0, and Martinez starting to be a little erratic in the zone. There is some action in the bullpen for Casey Dill. Andrew Pinedo is getting hot down there. The 2-0 is popped up along the infield. Holler calling for it. It's going to be Kirkland that takes it. He puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning.
And again, it's been what Josh Martinez has been so good with so far this year. He hasn't struck out a ton of guys. He's got, I think it's 11 now on the year, but what he's been so good on is no one gets a barrel off of him. No one hits the ball hard off of him. It's either off the bat, off the end of the bat, or they're just on top of it. And, I mean, he produces so much soft contact. I mean, this team, they're already a great defensive team, and he just leans on him, and again, it's to his advantage.
First pitch is in and out of the glove of Reyes, and taking second on the wild pitch will be Ben Lee. So runner in scoring position, 2 outs, 1-0 count here to Moon Yoom. He grounded it into a 1-6-3 double play his last time up back in the second. Can Martinez dance out of trouble again? Checks once to lead, delivers home. This one's lined into left field. Going back is Eli Brown and runs in and out of the glove, and the run will come in. The relay throw back into second. Austin Haller will tag. He's got him! Eli Brown from the warning track in left cuts down Moon Yoom trying to take an extra base, but a run does come in, the first one of the game for Inland Valley. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, no men left on. The Power leads 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th here on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey Power Baseball fans, looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Back to Palm Springs we go for the bottom of the 4th here on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network. EJ Sanchez joined by Stephen Buxton today, and Aiden Perez will lead things off here in the top of the 4th. He singled back in the second on a fly ball to right field that just found some room, a 371-foot single, as we mentioned at the time. Perez will take it out of the way. Out of the windup goes Entrup. First pitch swinging is Perez on 1 hop to Helene, who throws across for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Jake Entrup, and it'll bring it back to the top of the order in Cody Kashimoto. In steps Cody Kashimoto. He walked and scored back in the first, then grounded into a 3-6-3 double play in the second. The St. Mary's kid out of Kaneohe, Hawaii, who takes low for ball 1. We mentioned it earlier, but Cody, after his last game going hitless, has to be reminded, though, 4 for 4 in his last game here against the Inland Valley Legends. As he ropes this one into right center field, on his horse is Yanez, who will track it down and make the catch in deep right center field. 2 quick outs, but that ball was tagged by Cody Kashimoto.
Yeah, Kashimoto, I mean, right there, just takes a fastball almost in on the hands, but able to turn it around, has the strength to do so, and I mean, he drove that one a long way. If he pulls it just a little bit more, that ball's able to land, get in the gap, roll to the wall, And with Kashimoto's speed, you're looking at a possible triple right there.
Brings in Austin Haller, 2 for 2 already on the day with an RBI, and he has stolen a couple of bases. So he waits for his first pitch of his third at-bat. He's first pitch swinging, and he has a 3-hit ball game here in the fourth. Austin Haller lines this one to right field, and he will just trot back and cut his losses, and Austin Haller remains hot. He came into today, Steven, leading the team with 18 hits. He now has 21 hits in his first 11 games now as a member of the Power.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Haller right there. What better can you do than, first pitch, get on, turn it over to your biggest power threat, and, that's his 21st hit of the year. This is our 11th game.
Third at-bat here for Aiden Torek, who steps in. He takes a pitch high for ball one. Torek had the RBI triple in the first. He also came around and scored, and he walked in the second. Torek, another new member of this team that's made a difference in his first season here in the desert. Entrup will go check on Haller, and rightfully so after his 2 stolen bases. Austin back with plenty of time.
Yeah, and Torek, he's one of those guys, he's not the biggest guy in the world, just like his teammate Cody Kashimoto. Not the biggest guys in the world, but it just comes different off the bat.
Runner going again, and he has a 3 stolen baseball game. Austin Haller, 3 hits, 3 stolen bases. None of them have been particularly close on the base paths, and he gives a little thumbs up to Casey Dill over at third, and Casey's absolutely loving what his second baseman has given him tonight.
Austin Haller, he's just chasing after basically every stat title on the team right now.
The 2-0 is in there for a strike, lands the fastball, did Entrup. So it's 2-1. He's playing a pretty straight-up defense right now. A little deeper. There's a hole out there in right center field. The 2-1 to Torek. Outside and low, received by Woodland. But Brad Claude makes the right call, a little bit off, about 6 inches. So a 3-1 count now to Aiden Torek. Austin Haller at second. The Power lead at 6-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. The 3-1 is low and through the legs of Woodland. Going down to third will be Haller. And as much as we've talked about Austin Haller, Aiden Torek now on base for the third time.
Yeah, Aiden Torek, it goes without saying, he's been the driving force of this offense all year. He's been their biggest power threat. Maybe Eli Brown's coming after him for that now with that 397-foot home run he had the other day. But before him, it was Haller with the first 2, and now he sends it over to Noah Blythe, who he's got some pop in the bat too.
That he does. Still one of the team leaders in RBIs. He picked up another in the first on a sac fly and then roped the ball out to left, and a nice play made by Canavino retired him. So officially, he's 0 for 1 on the day with an RBI. Looking to cash in some more. Torek leads off first, Haller off third. The first pitch to Blythe is ripped back into the screen for a strike off the foul ball. Noah headed back to Hawaii Pacific after a successful career at the University of Antelope Valley.
Yeah, he's been basically great wherever he's been. It's just, it's a shame that his season had to end early. One of the handful of schools that closed their doors after this year, and he got the abrupt meeting with his coach saying, hey guys, after this series in Arizona, we're done, pack our bags, and we got to go find a new school for a lot of you guys.
We had the chance to talk to Noah, too, and he said that 3 months, he turned it into a good thing. Got in the gym, got his body into a nice place. The 1-1 to Blythe. High and tight. Nearly got hit by that pitch as he came in at 87. So Noah will adjust his belt back in and step in a 2-1 count. Kirkland in the on-deck circle waiting. The pitch to Blythe with runners on the corners is low for a ball. So we had a scoreboard mishap. It's actually 2-1. So never mind, we did have it right. 2-1 to Noah Blythe. Looking for more RBIs here to add on to his night. The 3-1. That one goes high as well.
guess that was the 2-1.
All right, I think we're all squared away here in Palm Springs. So officially, no backsies. 3-1 count here on Noah Blythe. Entrup pauses and delivers. In on the hands of Blythe, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Coming in to score will be Austin Haller. Taking first to third is Aiden Torek. 2 RBIs, and Mr. Power adds to his total. It's a 7-1 game for Palm Springs.
Noah Blythe, I mean, the guy hasn't been hitting the ball the same as he started the year the last couple games. Had a couple offers in there, but he's still been getting on base, and right there, back on track with just another hit to raise the average and climb himself up further on those Power all-time leaderboards.
Kirkland takes his first pitch low, 1-0 to the big left-hander. Power cashing in with 2 outs. Reminder again, this is all started by a 2-out single from Austin Haller. The 1-0 to Kirkland is way high, and coming home is Aiden Torek out of the glove of Woodland. He'll trot across home for the 8th run of the game for Palm Springs, and Torek has now scored twice on the game. And the Power doing what they have seemed to do every single time to these Inland Valley legends. So still a runner in scoring position here for Mark Kirkland as they advance on the wild pitch. Action going down in the bullpen now for Inland Valley. Throwing in the bullpen is Matt Henry. The 2-0 to Kirkland. Lined into center field. This will get down and bring in a run. Blythe can trot home from here. Mark Kirkland adds on. And the Power lead it 9-1.
EJ, how many times have I said that this team, I mean, they just don't let you make a single mistake. I mean, the moment you do anything, they smell blood. And right there, Mark Kirkland gets a fastball over the middle of the plate. And, I mean, right as I was thinking that how many mistakes the Power have taken advantage of, in the middle of that Mark Kirkland hit right there, they almost threw the ball away. Mark Kirkland was ready to take second right there.
9 runs on 7 hits for the Power. Isaiah Monge steps in, takes an off-speed pitch high at 77.
I mean, whether it's pitching, defense, base running, you have to play a perfect game against the Power, and again, the Legends just haven't.
The 1-0 to Monge. High for ball 2. Woodland thought he had a chance for that. Claude again. Been very solid behind the plate today.
Yeah, really, the only thing that's been tough for Woodland is out of his control, just the pitches that he's been given to throw runners out on.
This one catches the inside corner for a strike. It's 2-1 on Monge. Monge, a little bit of a slump. He's 0 for 2 here, so that makes him 2 for his last 14. But his best game of the season, along with Kashimoto, came against the Legends. On June 7th, went 3 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. So Isaiah looking to get right here against the team he has tormented. They're going to check on Kirkland again, and that's not just a courtesy throw over there, Steven. Throughout the season, we've seen Kirky take a couple of bases.
Yeah, Kirkland can run. I mean, this whole Power team, again, they put so much pressure on other teams' defenses.
The 2-1 in there for a called strike, a fastball in the inner half at 86. So the count even now here to Isaiah Monge. The North Carolina A&T man is looking for a new school next season. Most likely have no trouble doing that after what he has put out here in Palm Springs. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outer half, and Isaiah knew it. Could be the best pitch of the game for Jake Entrup. So the Power are done in the 4th, but not before 3 runs come across. It's 9-1 as we head to the top of the 5th here on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, Cal, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Of outdoor living spaces in the desert, nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Andrew Pinedo.
And here we go now as we reach the top of the fifth here on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network. EJ Sanchez alongside Stephen Buxton. And Stephen, have to remind everybody that for 55 years, the Old Spaghetti Factory has been family-owned and operated. Visit today and start your own family tradition with affordable meals, excellent service, and a beautiful setting. So Andrew Bear Pinedo will toe the rubber for his second appearance in a Palm Springs uniform. Had a good day against the Inland Valley Pirates last Sunday. Went 2 innings, no runs, 1 walk, no hits, and also struck out 6. So Pinedo, his home debut for Palm Springs, and he faces Reed Woodland as his first batter. Out of the windup, delivers the first pitch in there for a strike. A big swing there from Reed Woodland.
Yeah, back at home for the Concordia Irvine product. Now he's at Hope International. Graduated out of La Quinta High School, familiar with the area.
The 0-1, fouled back to the screen. And we're starting to see that theme arise a lot over the summer, not only here on the Power, but also in the Power Summer Collegiate League, where a lot of guys that just want to stay around home from La Quinta or Cathedral City, wherever it may be.
Yeah, a lot of guys like the former Blackhawk right here, Pinedo, had a couple solid years with that program.
The 0-2, just a bit high, and Bear wanted that. He's asking Claude back there if it was a high pitch, and he agrees. So it's a 1-2 pitch now to Reed Woodland, the sophomore out of Trinity University. 1-2 in the dirt, blocked by Reyes. So the count even at 2-2. So wipes his brow as he still works from out of the stretch. Set at the belt. A little extra time, now delivers. Foul again by Woodland. And talking to Woodland before the game as well. He's at a Trinity University, an area I'm familiar with in the San Antonio area of the Lone Star State. And Trinity is actually a team that was knocked out by Laverne in the regional of the NCAA Division III tournament. And he's not only teammates with one, but one of the assistant coaches also is another member of that Laverne Leopard team. So look, he was talking and joking with me before the game about, how weird it is being a California kid coming back home as a member of, the Trinity Tigers in Texas. A little bit of both cultures is Woodland. He's worked the count back even to 2-2. Bear delivers. Another foul back to the screen. So Pinedo, fastball is reaching the mid to upper 80s.
And again, with Pinedo, we mentioned the hometown ties. He's from Indio, went to La Quinta, played with my old skipper, Andrew Clark, with the Desert Prospects.
How about that?
Played at La Quinta High School, won CIF Division IV in 2018.
Looking for his first out. 2-2. Just upstairs. So he's nibbled on a couple of those pitches. A good at-bat here for Reed Woodland. So we'll see who wins this battle. The grizzled vet Pinedo against the young kid Reed Woodland. This one's popped back, and we'll do it again. Hey, Steven, not only a CIF champion, why was Pinedo late to get here? Hope International coming off of the NAIA National Championship here in 2024. It was the first in program history, so a good reason to be just a little bit late to summer ball. Payoff pitch outside. So the first batter in the 5th inning here reaches a nice at-bat for Reed Woodland.
Yeah, and he's coming from one of the better programs in the Valley, La Quinta. They've sent a lot of arms to a lot of good schools, so Andrew Pinedo, congrats to him. I mean, Hope International with one heck of a year and one heck of a run through the College World Series.
Absolutely. 5 straight elimination games that Hope International had to win to hoist the trophy. He delivers the first pitch to Doug Allen high. Doug Allen, the SWAC Mississippi Valley State kid. Spent his first couple of college seasons at Compton College and batted .229 with 13 RBIs. So an experienced third baseman here for the Legends. He swings through strike one on the inner half. Off-speed pitch. Had a lot of bite as it was well also received by Reyes. Took a look down at first base to Woodland. 1-1 here to Doug Allen. With the workman-like gloves, bright yellow, and he sees this off-speed pitch drop into the zone for strike two. 9-1 power here in the top of the 5th in Palm Springs. 1 run on 3 hits for the Legends. Doug Allen trying to dig into the lead. 1-2. High from Pinedo. So Pinedo has gotten ahead of his first 2 batters, but he's now allowed both of them to work the count back even.
He's really continuing the trend for the power. Just switch the arm side around, lefty, high 80s. Solid breaking ball so far here.
The 2-2 pitch is floated down the right field line. It's going to get foul. Allen, just like Woodland did, wasting a couple of pitches with 2 strikes.
For Pinedo, I mean, coming off Josh Martinez, it's a pretty similar profile, but if you look at the numbers, he doesn't get a ton of extension on his pitches, just 5'5" right there. And the arm slot just a little further down, a little 3/4. And it's a lot of deception there. It's 88. I mean, it's nothing like overpowering or anything, but it's a solid fastball coming from a really good delivery.
He's trying to put away Doug Allen for his first out. The 2-2 out of the stretch. Low, blocked well by Reyes. So back-to-back batters where Pinedo has gotten to a 2-strike count, but you have to applaud the discipline of both Woodland and Allen. Allen out of Los Angeles, California. He awaits the 3-2. Pinedo delivers. This one's lifted into center field, playable for Torque. He comes on about 7 steps and puts it away for the first out of the inning. So Pinedo able to win this battle with a Legend that extended the count. Brings in Ethan Bajani in from the left side, the hulking first baseman out of Anaheim, California. He singled and advanced to second on a pass ball in the 3rd inning. Anthony Canavino waits on deck. Left-on-left matchup, and Bajani tugging the bat just a little bit closer to the helmet as he swings through strike one. Fastball at 87. Pinedo gets ahead of the 3rd straight batter. Pinedo's trying to find a little bit of a pace. He didn't have Reyes as his catcher on Sunday, the first time the battery has worked together. In the dirt, 1-1. Went back to the breaking ball at 75. Still getting about 16 inches of drop on the off-speed pitch, so the stuff is there tonight for Bear. Fastball in the outer half at 88. So I think you're starting to find it, Steven, that the fastball's been there. It's just been landing those breaking balls.
Yeah, and it's how much are you really able to lean on the fastball. I mean, you can't be to the extent that Brenton Thiels was, as that one goes outside for a ball, pitching 90% fastballs. But It's can you get the fact that you're not landing your breaking ball out of your head, be able to just hope that you could get one in that at bat and really just dominate with that fastball, though. He's been getting soft contact.
2-2, swing and a miss. And as we say it, he goes back to the breaking ball, and he retires Ethan Bajani for the first strikeout of the game for Bear Pinedo.
And right there, that's perfect. It wasn't a strike. It wasn't even close, but he sped him up with so much with that fastball. He was pitching him up. Then he just lowered the fastball a little bit, lowered it a little bit. The last pitch was a little lower in the zone, kind of borderline, but after that, throws the curveball low. That wasn't going to be a strike at all, but out of the hand from that three-quarter slot, it looks like a fastball until it isn't.
He kicks and delivers, ball one high. Going with a little bit of pace now, already has the ball and set at the hip. The 1-0 to Canavino. Swings and fouls this one back to the screen. It's 1-1. Canavino at a Cuesta College. We mentioned also hitting the portal after this 2024 season. So, Steven, by my count, 4 players in the starting lineup looking for a new home next year for Inland Valley. The 1-1. Called strike on the outer half. Fastball again. This one touching 87.
Yeah, and you'll find that a lot in summer ball, especially with the power, too. I mean, if you look up all over the power lineup, the PSCL rosters, there's all kinds of players just looking to get their foot in a program and just get a chance.
So this one goes high, and it's off with the glove of Reyes. Moving up 90 feet on the wild pitch will be Reed Woodland.
And it's not like these aren't good players. It's just it's for a multitude of different reasons. They're playing college baseball for a reason. It's just really finding the right fit, finding the right coaching staff, or even it could just boil down to something as little as eligibility.
And that's what the transfer portal era has brought. Able to find, the right fit for you for your college career. Deuces wild, 2-2. Gets away from Reyes. And they're going to say, actually, this hits Canavino. So trotting back to second base will be Woodland. Trotting down to first after the hit by pitch will be Anthony. It'll bring back the top of the order and Gavin Grutzmacher. And I want to get to Grutzmacher, another example of a guy. So you see Irvine Valley College, maybe the general baseball fan doesn't know, but he spent a season at UC Irvine. He batted .220. It's not like he wasn't also a solid player there, but it's about finding where you can accelerate your talents at a program. Grutzmacher 0 for 2, struck out in the first, flew out to center in the third. He takes ball one high, 1-0.
And for those fans who don't know, for those fans who aren't dialed into the college baseball scene, don't know that much about the lower West Coast teams, I mean, UC Irvine's a good program.
The 1-0. Popped foul, and it's going to hit the stands behind us. But exactly the point I was trying to make. UC Irvine, for many mid-major rankings throughout the season, was one of the best mid-major programs in the country.
It's not UCLA, it's not Stanford. But if you look at the amount of talent that all these California schools have to recruit from, in almost all the mid-major conferences, a lot of the California schools are up at top, whether it's UC Irvine, UC Riverside, Cal State Fullerton. Northridge has been a quality program for years now.
Santa Barbara, go Gauchos, man. I mean, everybody in California has just been, building on these programs in this new era. The 1-2. 2 outs here in the fifth. Outside. So we'll try it again with 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. The Power leading 9-1. Here in the top of the fifth, the first inning of work for Bear Pinedo. He comes set. Checks back to second. Takes a breath and delivers the 2-2. Outside. So now with a 3-2 count, the runners will be moving. The Legends trailing by 8, trying to dig into it in the second pitcher of the game for Palm Springs. Grutzmacher in the box, 3-2 count. The pitch from Pinedo. Cold, strike 3 on the inside corner. Fastball at 88 miles an hour, and Bear Pinedo puts away Grutzmacher to end the threat. So no runs on no hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth here on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views, exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness, enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet, discovering our history, experiencing our scenic trails, getting that perfect souvenir. Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Like a family setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
Bottom of the 5th here in Palm Springs. Eli Brown will lead things off for the Power, and a new pitcher on the mound in Matt Henry for Inland Valley as he takes over for this 5th inning. Brown takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Eli Brown today, 2 walks. He came around and scored in the second. We mentioned it coming off that outstanding performance on Tuesday, a 4-hit ball game with 5 RBIs. He sees this pitch maybe high and tight inside, 1-1. The Mercer University kid, Eli Brown, a welcome back, if there ever was one. In his last game, he sees 1-1 on the outside corner for strike 2. Brown playing left field today, also has an outfield assist, robbing Moon Hume of extra bases and the only run of the game back in the 4th for Inland Valley. He's in a hole here, 1-2. Flicks his hands and sends it out to left field. Coming on is Cannavino, and he'll make the grab for the first out of the 5th inning. And it'll bring up Alonso Reyes. Reyes walked and scored back in the 2nd, grounded out to Grutzmacher at second base in the 3rd. Reyes has hits in 3 of his first 4 games as a member of the Power and has told us that he's as excited to be here as anybody. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Had about a month off in between the end of the Cerritos college season before coming up here to Palm Springs, and says his legs feel as fresh as ever. The 0-1 is lifted into left field. Cannavino has got to get on his horse, and he runs and makes the grab near the line and left. 2 quick outs in the first inning of work for the new pitcher in Matt Henry.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some time off, but it's not like this wasn't it was frankly a scramble to get Reyes over here. It was a last-minute thing. One of his coaches over at UC Irvine had some connections over here and said, hey, let's get you into summer ball. Let's get you some at-bats. We've got a spot for you. Can you be here tomorrow?
As the breaking ball's taken here to Aiden Perez.
And he packed up his bags and was driving to Palm Springs the next day.
Dedication and another trade out of a catcher. As waiting for the 0-1 as Perez swings through strike 2. He doubles up on the breaking ball. So quickly in the hole, 0-2. But to get back to Alonso Reyes, he already is beloved by everybody here. I mean, we have a good relationship with the athletic trainers. They say they love having conversations with him. Just another quality member of this Palm Springs family. He's facing 0-2 as Aiden Perez. He taps it to short. Helene is up with it, shuffles across his feet, throws across, and makes the out at first. So going quietly in the 5th is the Power. No runs on no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We head to the top of the 6th here in Palm Springs on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Ben Lee steps in as we bring you back to Palm Springs for the top of the 6th inning. Power leading the Legends 9-1. Bear Pinedo in his second inning of work delivers the first pitch to Ben Lee, and he takes it for a strike on the outside corner at 87 miles an hour for strike 1. And we'll talk about it throughout the inning here, Steven. But again, coming off a national championship for Bear Pinedo. 0-1 outside. And he was a late addition. Dom Hughes a late addition. The Kansas State Wildcats as they finish up their super regional run. And it gets back to kind of the theme of the night where we have said there's talent everywhere you look, not only just here in California, but really the country for that matter. The 1-1, tap towards the right side. This is going to roll foul. But you were talking about, like, Andrew Pinedo really is an interesting case here as another local kid, and he's been a guy here in this second outing that everybody's just going to love as long as he continues to do what he's done from the rubber.
Yeah, and Pinedo, he's a 3-year letterman over at La Quinta. He was on their 2018 CIF championship run.
Swing and a miss. He's got him on the outside corner. Pinedo with his third strikeout of the ball game. He puts away Ben Lee on strikes. It'll bring up Nathan Helene.
And obviously he was there under Coach Brian Whistler, and they ran all the way to beat Monrovia 6-5 at Cal State Fullerton for the CIF Division IV championship.
That's right.
They were second in the Desert Empire League that year. That was the first year they split that from the DVL into the DEL.
Helene sends his first pitch into left center field. Aiden Torek has a beat on it. About a couple of steps in front of the warning track, makes the catch. And 2 quick outs here for Bear Pinedo. And I tell you what, Aiden Torek got a heck of a jump on that ball.
Yeah, so that team, I mean, Pinedo wasn't the main guy. He was just a sophomore. He had just a couple appearances, but it was experience. He got to learn from that. He got to watch guys like Noan Haro, who's over at Kansas now. He was dominant for them, but eventually he ran into a spot in his junior year, grew into his role, and really...
He's going to send his first pitch high and wild for ball 1 to Danny Yanez.
And really, he had a good spot on that La Quinta team until his senior year when he was one of many who was affected, obviously, by the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Only had a couple innings there that senior year, but found a spot at Concordia Irvine, and, yeah, the rest is history.
The 1-0 is tapped to second base, on to the flip for Austin Haller. And that's actually Dalton Thomas, who just came in defensively. So that'll put away the Legends here in the 6th. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th with the Power leading the Legends 9-1.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit
Back quickly here for the top of the 6th, Cody Kashimoto in from the left side. The switch hitter takes strike 1 from Matt Henry, who had a 3-up, 3-down inning. In his inning out of relief, he floats a changeup in there, maybe the slowest pitch of the game. That one at 67 miles an hour. So changing the speeds up definitely after Entrup came in, throwing in the high 80s. The 0-2's outside for a ball. Back-to-back changeups, 1-2 count here on Cody Kashimoto. Walked and stole a base, scored in the first, double play in the second, and flew out to center in the fourth. He faces a 1-2. Flicks his hands into center field. Danny Yanez has a beat, comes in, and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Dalton Thomas for his first at-bat of the game, so that'll close the day on Austin Haller, and what a game it is. We'll get you his final stats once they become available, but for right now, Dalton Thomas, the St. Catherine's kid, steps in for his first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, Dalton Thomas coming off his first 2-hit game of the year, had a couple singles, couple RBIs, and reached base 3 times yesterday. Or on Thursday, I'm sorry.
The breaking ball to Thomas caught the outside corner for the first strike. Well received there by Reed Woodland. Thomas faces the 0-1. Fastball outside for ball 1. Just missed the outside corner. So no deception in what Henry's trying to do here. Trying to go away to Dalton Thomas. The 1-1 is swung on and missed on the outside corner. That's 78. So no doubt a change in speeds. That's been the strategy so far for Inland Valley as they trail here 9-1 in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2 is lined into right field for a base hit. So cold off the bench, Dalton Thomas comes in and delivers a pinch hit single to give the Power their first base runner of the 6th inning.
And EJ, you're right there on that change of speeds. I mean, that at-bat against Cody Kashimoto, his last at-bat he was seeing, 86, 87. But in that at-bat, I mean, he gets started off with 75, 76, and the last pitch, a 73-mile-an-hour changeup down and away, and he went out reaching for it and just couldn't do anything with it off the end of the bat, soft floater to center field. But it's really hard to just drop 20 miles an hour and adjust to that.
And speaking of which, a 62-mile-an-hour curveball is dropped in for a strike against Aiden Torek. Torek sees the second pitch. It's a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, so he's quickly behind 0-2. Torek, 2 RBI triple in the first, walked in the second, walked and came around and scored in the fourth. He's been on base all 3 times tonight for Casey Dill. They're going to check on Thomas over at first. But Austin Haller, what a game he had. 3 for 3, couple of stolen bases. He scored 3 times and a double. Torek's 0-2. Lined into center field. Going back is Yanez. He trails, and it's off of his glove. Thomas is going to take third. Torek is going to take second on the throw. And Aiden Torek has his second hit of the game. He's been on base every single time, and good things continue for the St. Mary's kid.
Yeah, Aiden Torque right there. Again, that's about the shortest example that you'll see of a guy showing off just raw power, but I mean, turning around 63 off the end of the bat, able to get it over the center fielder's head, 91 off the bat. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, that takes some serious strength right there. A tough read by Yanez in center field, but Aiden Torque, stay hot.
Noah Blythe, runners on second and third. He sees the first pitch, and it's outside from Henry. Noah's had a good ball game. He singled and scored back in the fourth, an RBI sac fly in the first. So add on to his RBI totals. He's also walked in 4 straight games. I'm sure Noah's not thinking about doing that here. The 1-0 lined back into the screen, so 1-1. To Mr. Power, as he's been affectionately called, of course, it's been said time and time again, his 3rd season here in the desert.
It's his 3rd one, and, I mean, guy hasn't skipped a beat. Again, he's nearing the top of almost every offensive stat.
The 1-1 is flown out to left field. Cannavino coming in on it, makes the grab, the throw home. Thomas is in, slides, and the throw's not in time. Noah Blythe has another sac fly. He has his 3rd RBI. Dalton Thomas comes in, and it's a 10-1 Palm Springs lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
EJ, that throw right there, that play right there just really shows the approach that Casey Dillon, this whole power team takes. They're just brooding with confidence and that aggression right there. Most teams are not even taking that chance right there. The throw was close. I mean, out in left field, Cannavino was only about maybe 40 feet past the dirt. I mean, it wasn't a long throw, but you just put the faith in your players and trust that Dalton Thomas and his wheels can score it.
Mark Kirkland steps in with 2 outs and Aiden Torque leading off second base. Fastball outside, just misses the outside corner. It's 1-0. And to go back to our point earlier about finding guys, Mark Kirkland was at the University of Redlands in his freshman year. And it's a D3 program that's had success as he watches his second ball go outside. He's ahead 2-0. But he shows out. He's a first-team All-SCIAC selection. He finds his way to Cal Baptist. And if you're somebody that wants to judge Division III baseball, then there'd be no Mark Kirkland here and no Mark Kirkland for Cal Baptist.
Yeah, and again, it's in Cal Baptist.
The 2-1 is grounded to short. It's off the glove of Nathan Helene, and he's going to have to chase it down. He loses his glove. And we'll wait on the official score. They're going to call that an error on Helene, a tough ruling for Nathan. But to get back to our original point, yes, you have to find guys at all levels in order to compete at no matter what program you're in.
And when you're looking at schools like Cal Baptist, it goes back to the point of, like, you can't just look at these relatively either no-name or, like, lesser-known schools in California and just scoff at that. Again, Cal Baptist playing in the Western Athletic Conference, they almost made a trip to the college world or college baseball playoffs. They could have made a little run. I mean, win a couple games, you've got yourself a trip to Omaha. I mean, they were up in the rankings for that their whole year, up top near the top of that conference.
As Amanji is in, and he sees a breaking ball after taking high for ball 1. It's 1-1 to Manji. But you have it exactly right. There's places where you can find quality baseball players across the country. Runners on the corners, 1-1 to Isaiah Manji. Swings to the slider. 1-2 now to Manji. Manji today has flown out twice and had a backwards K in the fourth. Isaiah looking for his first hit of the ball game. Trying to get right offensively, but he has played a very good third base this season. He waits for the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Matt Henry gets him on the breaking ball and the second strikeout of the game for Isaiah Manji. But not before a run comes across. 1 run on 2 hits. There was an error. 2 men left on base. The Power lead 10-1 as we've played 6 innings here in Palm Springs. We'll be back for the top of the 7th. And Stephen Buxton when we return on the Power Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back. Top of the 7th here in Palm Springs. Power up 10-1 as our very own EJ Sanchez gets himself a taco as the Power scored 9 or more runs today, so the interns were handing out tacos. New man on the mound, the team's leading hitter, Kenny Schechter. 1,000 average, and he'll come and take over the duties. Takes over for Andrew Pinedo, who went 2 innings. No hits, no runs, none earned. 1 walk and struck out 3. Pretty close line to Josh Martinez.
Exactly, and the pitching just continues to do what they have done throughout the season.
Schechter's first pitch catches the corner against Moon Hume. 0-1 count. Schechter, he's had a solid season so far as Hume drives one out into right field, but Blythe running back to it. Catches it almost at the track. Quick out for Kenny Schechter to start his night.
Schechter has been so consistent out of the bullpen this summer for Casey Dill, and maybe a couple extra nerves for another reason in another sport, as our own Adam Oppenheim is enjoying the finals, NBA Game 4. Kenny Schechter, also a devout Boston Celtics fan, so he's hoping to open his phone to some good news at the conclusion of this ball game.
Schechter fires in a fastball for a first pitch strike, and he's a part of the culture that they build with this team, and it's the different kind of guys like Schechter because he's been all over the place. 0-1 pitch, just high. He's been to Rhode Island. He had a year at COD. He's now at LSU Shreveport. He's been to 4 different schools, and, it hasn't fazed him. He's been able to, take the bruises, take the kicks, and he's been able to come out better because of it, and he's been impactful for this team so far. In the time he's had, he's been one of their better pitchers as he fires in a breaking ball for a 1-2 pitch. Schechter, 1-2, just off the end of the bat to the backstop, Reed Woodland.
And you didn't even mention Kenny's first stop of his college career at Eastern Carolina, who's now built themselves into a powerhouse. And we're gonna sound like a broken record, Steven, but we're just trying to point to the mental toughness that it takes to compete in college athletics. And all of these players, whether it be for the Power or for the Legends, they've accomplished a lot so far.
1-2 pitch from Schechter off the end of the bat, back into the net. But it's guys like him. It's guys who they've had the experience at the high-level programs. Even if ECU isn't, it's not a Virginia. It's not one of those East Coast schools that's absolutely dominant out there every single year in the College World Series. They've been in it recently, though. They've been in the thick of it. They're a really good program that's produced some quality ball players.
No doubt, and the regular season winners this year of the American Athletic Conference.
And college baseball is one of those sports where you just need a chance as Schechter fires in 1-2 pitch and blows it by him. First strikeout of the night for Kenny Schechter as he sends Reed Woodland back to the dugout. Up next for him, Doug Allen.
We talked about Josh Martinez for the duration of his start and how he's been, good mixing in pitches, both sides of the plate, this and that. Kenny Schechter and Bear Pinedo have come in and just thrown fastballs and blown it by these Inland Valley Legend hitters, as this one's fouled back by Doug Allen. There's no deception, and there doesn't need to be any deception if what you're doing is working. And what they're doing right now is commanding their fastball, and that's where you have to start if you want to be a good pitcher.
And again, there's no better example of it than on Thursday or on Wednesday night what Brenton Thiels was able to do. It's one of the most dominant pitching performances I've ever seen. Just 5 innings, but he struck out 13. He almost faced the minimum if it wasn't for a batter that he hit in the 9th inning. And overall, it was just fastball after fastball after fastball as Schechter changes it up right there with a breaker in the dirt. Gets Doug Allen swinging, but it's almost an impossible task that some of these guys have, linking up with their new catchers, developing some kind of chemistry. As Schechter gets Allen to sky one way up in there. And camping under it is Thomas, and he'll take that for the 3rd out of the inning. Power with a quick 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th right after a break. Eli Brown, Alonzo Reyes, and Aiden Perez due up. We'll be right back. Power up 10-1.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in Palm Springs. Power up a bunch. It's 10-1. Couple 3-run innings in the 1st and 2nd. Another one in the 5th. And they just scored a run in the 6th. It's been nothing but smiles here for the Power fans as Sweet Caroline sounds over the speakers right now. And for a pretty solid crowd on a nice night. I mean, they couldn't get much more than what they've asked for tonight.
There's no doubt about it. Rancho Mirage night, as we mentioned in our pregame show. So Rancho Mirage residents got in free with proof of residency tonight. So it builds up a nice Friday crowd. And they've been able to watch this Power team after a midweek slate that didn't have them, playing as crisp as they would want to. They come right back in for CPCL play, and they're having the game that they've had.
Eli Brown coming off the game of his life. Coming off the game of his life, as there's some confusion with the home plate umpire right there. I mean, he goes from hitting first to, hey, you just got 5 RBIs and welcome to the 7-hole. As he takes a first pitch ball from the new pitcher. It's a new guy on the mound, Manny Lopez, out of Fullerton College for the Legends. Fires in second pitch for a strike. Fastball just on the corner. And for Eli Brown, I mean, he's picked up right where he left off. Couple walks. He scored. Just looking for his first hit as he watches that one go by for a strike.
You got to love what Eli's done tonight is, yes, officially he is 0 for 1, but he hasn't expanded his zone. It's so easy to get outside of your approach in these big games.
1-2 pitch to Brown. Doesn't expand the zone right there. Not a horrible pitch after he's been getting pounded low.
What I mean by these big games, these big offensive games where everybody on the team, one guy has a double, he does this, that. You have to keep your approach.
2-2 pitch. Brown cuts on and can't get a piece of it. Little emergency hack right there, and it's his first strikeout of the night.
You have to applaud just the sequences there from Manny Lopez in his first batter. He never caved. He never went back in on Eli Brown. He kept his foot on the gas on the outside corner, and it paid off. And that two-seam really started to have a little run there on those last 2 pitches.
Brown coming in against Alonzo Reyes, who is 0 for 1 on the night, but walked and scored again. Takes a first pitch strike. And it's really been, so far tonight, I mean, the walks for the Legends have just piled up, and you can't give the Power this many free base runners.
Speaking of which, this one is going to head back to the screen for a ball, and they just keep taking advantage. And, Steven, we're going to talk about it all season long. When you make mental mistakes and physical mistakes against this team.
As Reyes swings right through that one, breaker can't catch up to it.
It's going to be a tough afternoon, evening, whatever you're playing here in Palm Springs, because this team is built up of players that know when to take advantage of miscues.
1-2 pitch to Reyes, way up there. Woodland had to go up and jump for it. But it's a team that's full of talent. It's a team that's full of pedigree. And really, though, it's a team that's had some humility. Again, a lot of guys are bounce backs, but a lot of guys have bought in as Reyes can't find that one there. Breaking ball just outside, and he goes chasing. Second strikeout for Lopez. Second strikeout of the inning. First one of the night for Alonso Reyes. And Aiden Perez, bottom of the lineup, DH trying to just flip it over to the top. Get his second hit of the night.
Manny Lopez has come in and really just made these power hitters uncomfortable, not only with his fastball but his off-speed pitches. He's mixed it up well, and he's used both sides of the plate, and Reed Woodland is happy because he's found a pitcher that he's able to finally execute his game plan with.
And how much of that is – because let's face it, I know a lot of these guys went to the same couple of colleges on this team, but even if it's for the Power in general with Alonso Reyes and Cortez and all these guys – how hard is it, because you played the game, you were in their shoes, how hard is it to get that connection with a new pitcher?
It can take a while depending on the profile of the pitcher. You know, some guys are, regimented and say you need this amount of warm-up time. I like to have this landing spot, move your glove here. And then some guys can say, hey, just throw your mitt up there and I'll hit it. It really just depends on the guy.
2-0 pitch, grounded, just gets past shortstop into left field. Aiden Perez with his second hit of the night. Flips it over to the top of the lineup. Cody Kashimoto looking for his first hit of the night. He'll be coming up.
So that was just a fastball that he's able to just pull his hands in, put a nice good swing on. But to get back to, that pitcher-catcher relationship and the two different profiles of it, that's why it's so important to have a catcher that is willing to work with a pitcher, because when it comes down to it, a catcher is going to have to change what he's doing, not the pitcher.
First pitch to Kashimoto, driven into the gap in right center field. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. Alonso Reyes steps into third, Kashimoto into second. Alonso Reyes is going to go all the way after a bit of an errant throw from Moon Yoom in right field. Another RBI for Aiden Perez. Power go up 10. It's 11-1 here in the seventh.
Kashimoto takes an 81-mile-an-hour pitch, inner half, and just turns on it the other way. Off the bat, you don't think this is going to get all the way to the wall, but this outfield as well as the infield, it's able to skip. So if you hit a ball hard enough on a line at 89 miles an hour, just like Cody Kashimoto did, it's going to get on its way. And after that, there's really nothing for Alonso Reyes to do than just trot home with the Power's 11th run.
Cody Kashimoto, who, again, from the moment he's been here, has done nothing but hit, as Dalton Thomas steps in for his second at-bat of the night. Replaced Austin Haller in the top of the sixth inning as a defensive replacement. He already has a hit. He scored. Thomas watches. Second pitch go by. It's 1-1 count. But for Kashimoto, that hit right there, it's his fifth RBI of the year after he scored one on a ground out earlier. And Thomas gets under that. That's tailing towards the stand, and it's going to get out of play. And Dalton Thomas, he's really one of those guys who, the story, you're just rooting for the guy because he's coming out of St. Catharines. He had his season ended. Now he's looking for a new place to play. He has to play well here in the summer. He hasn't seen live pitching in a while. And he's put together good at-bat after good at-bat. But the results haven't come until really lately. And he skips that one in the dirt. Lopez does. And Kashimoto goes straight over to third base.
It's so hard to see from a viewer's perspective for those that are just joining us from wherever you may be, and friends and family that don't really get to see these guys on an everyday basis. We get to see these guys, and Mark Kirkland and Dalton Thomas were hitting BP 3 weeks before the opener, and they were the ones that were gracious enough to say hi to us and take time to explain their careers to us. And talking to Sean Collins, the esteemed clubby for the Power, he said, as this one's fouled away, that Dalton and Mark really have started to take control and be the leaders of this team. And leadership is underrated in summer ball because it is a grind to get through after you've played your entire spring season.
And it's not just one action, but it's really a combination of everything, as here's the 2-2 pitch to Thomas. And that catches the corner for the third strikeout of the inning. Manny Lopez comes in, strikes out the side, gets in some trouble, but manages to strand Cody Kashimoto at third base. Power put up another run. It's 11-1 going into the top of the eighth. We'll be right back.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Top of the eighth inning here in Palm Springs. Power up 11-1. EJ Sanchez, Steven Buxton here. Kenny Schechter going out for his second inning. 4th appearance of the year. Power coming into the game, asking if they could take that 29 win streak any higher. And it's looking like they're getting pretty close.
They don't call him one of the most esteemed Power interns for nothing, folks. Higher being sang is our sing-along of the night here at Palm Springs Stadium.
Kenny Schechter throws in his fastball for ball 1. Second pitch bounces in the dirt, ball 2.
And we can give a quick earmuffs to any Celtics fans or anybody that's trying to tape the game right now. 1, 2, 3. The Mavs making it a series. They were able to win Game 4 and force a Game 5 against the Seas.
So really Meredith just winning right now as that pitch is swung on and missed by Ethan Bajani. Meredith's winning. She got higher to finally be the sing-along song. The Mavericks got a win. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off over probably in the parking lot again. Looks like that one a little past Sue's concession stand. And Kenny Schechter's got Bajani in a 2-2 count. We'll do it again. Schechter gets the sign from Reyes. Fires and blows it by him, 79. Sped him up with the fastball, but got the breaking ball in there. Caught him off balance. Kenny Schechter, second K of the night.
When you're able to command your fastball the way that Kenny not only has done tonight, but over the season, it opens up the opportunity to just drop those off-speed pitches in there. And he does a really good job here and just reaches the top of the zone, has a good vertical reach, and puts away for another strikeout.
Schechter fires in. Breaking ball up high against Anthony Canavino. Canavino struck out already, got hit by a pitch in the fifth inning. Didn't go anywhere after that, though. Schechter gets one close, doesn't get the call, though. And for Schechter, it's been a summer. We talked about his journey. He's been to a million different colleges. He's had his struggles here and there, but I mean, for the summer here, he's taken it in stride. A lot of the guys who he's familiar with, he's played at COD, he's been around the staff, a lot of these guys. And so far, I mean, so good. 3 appearances coming in today. Has a 2.25 ERA so far. That's lowering. As he gets a walk right there on 4 pitches. Just can't find the zone, but I mean, he's been effective when they've needed him. He's been able to extinguish some fires, get them out of some tough spots, and I mean, overall, Casey Dill, Reed Santos, they can't be happier with what he's done.
He's found a nice home at LSU Shreveport, another team in an NAIA program that has enjoyed some success, and this one fouled back to the screen. Kenny is a guy that has a stoic demeanor. You know, he's not going to be the loudest guy in the room, and he's not going to be, you know, the guy that makes sure to let everybody know that he's there. He just goes about his business the right way, and it's a trait that the staff is really liking about him.
Schechter can't find the zone there. Ball 1-1 count. You said it, though. He's not the loudest guy in the room. He is kind of quiet. But once you get talking to him, once you get him going on something, I mean, whether it's a topic he enjoys like pitching or if it's the Celtics or something like that, he'll just go and go and go and go. And right there, that pitch keeps going. A breaking ball just misses the zone in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Against Gavin Grutzmacher. Still looking for his first hit today. That one high, fastball just above the zone. Grutzmacher, he's struck out twice so far today.
We talked about the different profiles of pitchers last inning and alluding to that. Kenny is one of those regimented guys that he likes to stay on his plan, as this one swung on and missed by Grutzbacher. I mean, he's always the first one out on days that he knows he has a chance to start. He's the first one out there doing his plyo balls, going through his calisthenics, getting his stretches in, because it's a great trait to have in a veteran pitcher to know what makes you your best.
3-2 pitch from Schechter. Runners going. That one gets through the gap into left field, first to third. Canavino's going to end up on third. Grutzmacher on first. And the Legends, pretty good start to the inning. As they get the top of their lineup up, Ben Lee, their second hitter, number 2. The DH has a walk, struck out. Again, he's looking for his first hit, just like a lot of these Legends players are, though.
1 run on 4 hits, and points to the outstanding work done by the pitching staff today for the Power.
Grutzmacher on first. He's going to go to second. In to score is Anthony Canavino. And a wild pitch from Kenny Schechter. It's going to be the second run of the game for the Legends. And it's these kind of mistakes that you don't see a ton of from the Power. You don't see a ton of wild pitches. You don't see a ton of passed balls or errors or really just mental mistakes in general. You don't see them swing at bad pitches even.
No, and this situation here, you're not excusing it, but, you know, it is an 11-1 ball game before that just happens. It's hard to stay, you know, as locked in as you were when your name's getting called and the fans are rowdy and, you know, if you have the rush of the first pitch. Now you're getting to the part of the game, as this one's fouled away, where you really have to try just that extra little bit to stay focused in on the game. And not to say that anybody was unfocused. Wild pitches happen, pass balls happen in baseball, but that is a mental part of the game that is so underrated when you're talking about a team that's been this dominant.
But with that 9-run lead, you do have a point as Schechter fires it, and that one's dumped into right field. No, Blythe will throw that in. In to score is Gavin Grutzmacher. RBI single for Ben Lee. But you've got a point. These guys are all human. When you look at the season, it's blowout win after blowout win. A lot of them, the Power could have sleptwalked to the finish line. And coming off of their last game against the Legends, coincidentally, that 22-2 win, they went into a doubleheader against Inland Valley, against the Bucks, and it was two of their closest games all year. And I asked the guys if it was like a bit of a shock, as Nathan Helene shows bunt right there. I asked if it was a bit of a shock to, go from that blowout win to, oh, wow, we're going into the 8th inning and we need to come from behind. And, I mean, they didn't say it was, but they said the big thing is it's more fun to do that, and it's just easier to stay focused and easier to just really lock in and give it everything. 2-0 pitch to Helene. Catches the zone. Strike one.
There's a lot to that, Steven, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about it. Nobody's going to outright come out and say it's more fun or we like this more. Winning is fun. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as Kenny misses here on his landing spot. And it's another ball. It's 3-1. But it is more fun when, the tensions are high and, each pitch takes on more meaning. Each take, you overthink it. That's why these guys got into baseball, for those big moments. And when these moments maybe start to shrink just a little bit, it takes a good athlete to stay in on it.
3-1 pitch out into left field. Coming in on it is Brown, who takes that, hauls in an easy out. Power have 2 outs here in the 8th inning, up 11-3. Again, 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and then 2 one-run innings in the 6th and 7th. Again, 2 outs with Kenny Schechter on. Danny Yanez, the center fielder for the Legends, coming up. Yanez drives that one right up the middle. Just off the mound into Torik's glove, and it's another single. Keep the inning going for the Legends.
Saw a lot of that from Danny Yanez in his season at Azusa Pacific, the San Diego, California kid. Batted .286 and had 4 home runs, knocked in 15 runs. So at a quality program, Yanez was an integral part of that team, and you see why. He does a nice job of just taking a Kenny Schechter fastball, sending it right up the middle. Not trying to do too much, just doing what he can to take a barrel to a baseball.
Schechter seeing if he could get out of a bit of a jam here. Munyum up again. Little chopper off the end of the bats. Dalton Thomas, hard time handling that, but gets the throw to Kirkland in time. Power end the inning. Just 2 runs on the board. It's 11-3 going into the bottom of the 8th. Aiden Tork, Noah Blythe, and Mark Kirkland due up for the Power. We'll be right back on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Desert Air started right here in the Coach.
Bottom of the 8th coming up here in Palm Springs. Power up 11-3. And to keep up to date with everything Palm Springs Power, follow us on social media. Follow the Power on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Palm Springs Power, or visit our website at palmspringspowerbaseball.com. Bring the whole family this Saturday to a Palm Springs Power baseball game. Every Saturday at Palm Springs Stadium is Jack in the Box Kids Night, with all kids 12 and under receiving free admission. Games start at 7 with tickets available at the Palm Springs Stadium box office. Affordable fun for the whole family Saturday night this summer with Power Baseball. And here's a guy who's been having fun all summer. Aiden Torek set to lead it off for the Power against Manny Lopez, still in there after he had a fine inning of work. Torek fouls that one back. So far on the night, Torek, couple walks, RBI triple, and he had a double. I mean, the guy, every time you look, it just feels like he's standing on second base. And Torek sends that one out into center field, high in there. Going back on it is Yanez. He'll settle under that and take it for the first out of the inning.
Still a good swing there from Aiden, but just elevates his hands just a little bit. Comes out of his swing just a tad bit early, but, I mean, you said it. Been an extra base hit machine coming into tonight. 3 straight games with an extra base hit, and he adds to it with that triple that he had all the way back in the first.
I think he'll feel a little bit better about tagging the ball right there and getting an out when, I mean, he's 3 for 3 on the night with a walk. Noah Blythe coming up, swings right through that first pitch right there. Looking for his second hit of the night. He's at 3 RBIs so far, though. Pair of sac flies, RBI single in the 4th. 0-1 pitch to Blythe. Blows the fastball right by him. Blythe, again, we've mentioned he's at the top of basically every offensive category in all-time power lists. As he sends that one out into right field. It's getting towards the line into the bullpen. And Moon Yoom somehow came down with that. Yoom fighting against the wall, crashes into it, manages to hold on to it. With
That's
a fantastic catch.
Outstanding play by Moon Yoom out there in right, because this is an unconventional ballpark like we've alluded to a couple of times, Adam, but if you're just joining us, the bullpens are still down there. Now, it's not the mound, but still, there's home plates, and you don't know what else is down there, and he still knew where he was the entire time. He tracks it down, he uses his hand to find out where the fence is, and still is able to hang on to it after taking a hit from the wall.
After that great play, Mark Kirkland drives one right back over to that same bullpen. It's a 1-1 count here against Manny Lopez. Kirkland, another solid night for him. 1 for 3, reached on an error, has an RBI. Overall, just back to doing what he's done best. It's put together good at-bats, drive in runners, and play a great first base over there. He's made a couple solid picks so far. 1-2 pitch, well outside.
It's a trait that in first baseman you don't particularly look for. That's usually where you put one of your best bats, but he's shown a good amount of athleticism around that bag, not only picking balls out of the dirt, but switching his feet on throws up the line.
And Kirkland can't catch up with that, but gets a piece of it. 2-2 pitch fouled into the catcher. Again, Kirkland out of Cal Baptist. He'll be looking for a home soon. He entered his name into the transfer portal and gets a little chopper right there, hustling down the line. Throw from second, gets him in time. Quick inning for the Power. They go down scoreless, but going into the top of the 9th, they're 3 outs away from win number 30 in a row. We'll be right back for the top of the 9th here on the Power Broadcasting Network.
Hey, Power baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice.
Richie's in, baby.
Rudy's
Come on.
Flex
Richie's in?
80/90 Pest Control Plan
Doesn't he
offers
have
effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the
wasn't a
usual
save.
12.
No, Mosley
So
got
you'll
the
have more
save.
time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST.
Yeah,
And
nice
declare,
stuff for Kenny.
heck no,
So what is
12's
that?
gotta go.
2 runs.
Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice. So get started today.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
1 walk.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what
Dang.
coverage to choose.
Come
So
on.
just say the State
That's
Farm
how we're
jingle. A
becoming
State Farm agent can go over all your
Dude,
options with
that's
you
big.
and help choose
That's
coverage
big.
that meets your
I
needs.
still don't have Henry's line
Dude,
or
Cal,
Entrup, but
could
like,
you
I don't
move?
Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
care. That's their team. I'm going to be honest, I forgot Manny Lopez's name because I didn't write
Family
it down.
setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable
I'm
here
gonna
is
get
what
the
I guess
last
I'll say.
name
It's
real quick.
comfortable.
Welcome back. Top of the ninth here in Palm Springs. The Palm Springs Power have numerous exciting promotional days on the horizon. Tuesday, June 18th is Hispanic Heritage Night, presented by Las Cosuelas Terraza, with giveaways provided. On Wednesday, June 19th, Bring Your Dog for Bark at the Park Night, featuring Mayor Max of Idlewild. Then Friday, June 21st is City of Palm Springs Night, with all Palm Springs residents receiving free admission and food tickets for purchase at the box office on game day. Coming in for the Power, guy who seems like a late inning specialist in the last couple games, Richie Amavisca, getting his third appearance in the last couple games.
And Richie, this isn't just a safe pitching, because if you're a Power fan, you know that Amavisca has been, a very consistent infielder throughout this summer. But he's also seen the fastball rise up from 85 and even has touched 88 a couple of times. Ooh.
Amavisca fires in ball one, but gets a piece of our home plate umpire. That can't feel good, because with his strong arm from third base, fired that one in at 87, and it got a good chunk of him.
And not only a good chunk of Brad Claude, but I don't think that it got too much of Alonso Reyes.
It did not, so we're hoping he's all right as one of our athletic trainers goes out to see him.
Esteemed trainer Maxie, one of the three members of our talented athletic training team, checking on Brad Claude, and William Macareno going to check in and check on his partner. They've done an outstanding job. No real controversies. The close plays, I think, have all been called correctly. And from a balls and strikes standpoint, Brad Claude, and this is his first game we've seen him behind home plate, and the first time he's made the trip to Palm Springs this season. He has had you would say he'd had a good report card. If you're the big leagues and you have your report card waiting for you at the end of the game, Claude, no doubt, would have a more than passing grade.
I think the best thing an umpire can have said about them is, I haven't brought him up in the game. I haven't said too many times, oh, that's a bad call here and there. As Amavisca fires in the 1-0 pitch, that one's just high for another ball. But, I mean, I feel like your whole goal is just to not be noticed, basically.
Absolutely. It's almost like an offensive lineman.
2-0 pitch off the end of the bat. Tough play by Monji. Long throw gets him. Power 2 outs away from win number 30 in a row, win number 11 on the year.
Isaiah's really thanking his lucky stars right now at third base. We mentioned it earlier. This is a quick infield, especially on that second hop. And Isaiah got caught in the middle, and he didn't know whether to come charge and take that short hop or wait back where he got caught in between. But luckily, and we've mentioned it, he has a strong enough arm that he can just throw off his back foot and still make that play across the diamond to Kirkland. So, maybe not the most beautiful-looking play in the world, but it gets the job done, and Monji continues his reputation as a good defensive third baseman.
Monji sends Woodland packing, and first couple off-speed pitches to Doug Allen. One finds the zone, and it's a 1-1 count. One out here in the ninth. Again, Power up 11-3. Allen fouls that one back off the net, and he's down to his final strike. Allen so far hitless on the night. Flew out to second base a couple times, flew out to center field. And Allen just putting a blender right there. High fastball, can't catch up with it. Richie Amavisca blows it by him for his first strikeout of the night.
You usually see infielders come in and pitch, and yes, they can throw hard, but there's not much movement. It's typically a pretty flat fastball. That had a 12 inches of run on it. Richie throwing a two-seam fastball that almost cuts across, it does. It cuts across 70% of the plate. That's 17 inches.
Looks like time was given late to Ethan Bajani as he steps in, hoping for the Legends to have one last shot at things, extend the game a little bit, but Richie Amaviska hoping he could end that. He fires in a fastball. Can't find the zone, though. Ball 1.
This is just good for the fans to watch. A position player pitching, but it's not just throwing up epheses. Richie really has some good stuff, not only with the fastball, but he has an off-speed pitch, too, that's caused some unconventional swings.
And another one of those two-seamers right there, though, blows it right by him for strike 1. Amaviska with the breaker. Finds a corner, strike 2. Power 1 strike away, 1 pitch away possibly from 30 in a row. Amaviska gets the sign, kicks and deals, and there it is. Strike 3, Power win. Amaviska closes the door with his second strikeout of the night. Josh Martinez with the start. Andrew Pinedo's going to get the win. And for the Power, it's an 11-3 win against the Inland Valley Legends. They're the only team to take down the Legends so far this year.
Another complete baseball game. When you talk with guys on this roster how important it is to play complementary baseball, and they did it again right here. They put up a 3 spot in the first. Josh Martinez doesn't even need that many runs to feel comfortable, but he's able to have a 6 spot be put up before he goes out for his 3rd inning of work. From there, it's smooth sailing. Your pitchers are able to settle into the rhythm, and after that, you're just having hitters that are just having a good time and able to play freely. They're not chasing any runs. They're not chasing a lead. They're just able to refine their approaches and look for barrels on baseballs.
And for the Power, again, it's business as usual, another win. And, EJ, you'll have a chance to interview Austin Haller coming up. He'll be our player of the game.
He was outstanding today.
Only played 4 innings and manages to earn that title. In his night, 2 singles, 3 stolen bases, a double, 3 RBIs. Overall, just a great night in the books for the Power. And a great night for these fans tonight on Rancho Mirage night. Coming up, the Power have another game tomorrow. They'll be facing off against the Inland Valley Legends again, so they'll have a chance to get some payback. Another CPCL matchup. But overall, whether it was offense, defense, pitching, all around the Power, just too much for the Legends once again. It was a better turnout than last time. Kept the Power to just 11 runs tonight, but again, they'll move on to 11-0. They're 9-0 at home, 2-0 on the road, 5-0 in the CPCL. So, we'll be back tomorrow. Inland Valley Legends tomorrow at 7 o'clock. For myself, Stephen Buxton, EJ Sanchez, my color commentator, for all our staff here, for all the fans who were in attendance, we thank you for tuning in, and we'll see